Hey, let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a room where your presence was barely acknowledged, but the moment you started pulling back, mentally, emotionally, or even just with your silence, suddenly everyone noticed? You didn't change. You didn't get louder. You simply stopped giving, and that quiet absence shook the room louder than your presence ever did. This is the part no one teaches us. Power doesn't come from chasing. It comes from choosing, and choosing when not to react, when to hold back, when to let the silence speak for you. Today I want to tell you something that I wish someone told me years ago. Your silence, your emotional distance, your refusal to be a puppet to someone else's moods. That's not weakness, that's mastery. Let's talk about why pulling back hits deeper than words ever could. Point 1. You break the pattern they were counting on. Bro, let me break this down real quick. People don't actually fear losing you, they fear losing the version of you that was always predictable. The version that texted back in 2 seconds, that never said no, that was always emotionally available even when it drained you. Now the second you stop being that version, you stop feeding the cycle, boom, the whole rhythm they were dancing to gets thrown off. It's like they were playing chess with someone who suddenly stopped moving pieces, and now they're just staring at the board, confused. You didn't yell. You didn't post some dramatic story, you just stopped showing up the way they expected. And that's what rattles people, not the drama, not the confrontation, the change in energy. That's the moment they go, wait, is he done? And that question, that one question hits way harder than anything you could have said. Point 2, silence triggers their inner voice. You know what's crazy? When you stop responding, it's not just quiet on the outside, it gets loud inside their head. The moment you go silent, they don't just move on with their day. Nah, their mind starts playing detective. Why isn't he replying? Did I push him too far? Is he over it? And here's the thing, your silence starts doing the job you were doing before, explaining, overthinking, trying to fix things, but now it's them stuck in that loop. You didn't need to argue. You didn't need to send a long message. Your absence says it all. That's the kind of silence that doesn't just distance, it exposes. It forces them to sit with their own guilt, their own actions. And trust me, that kind of self-confrontation, that's more uncomfortable than any fight. Point 3. People respect what they have to reach for. Let's be honest, man. We don't chase what's always there. We chase what feels earned. When you were available all the time, replying fast, dropping everything for her, being emotionally open 24/7, she got used to it. It became normal, predictable. But when you pull back, when you stop showing up the second she snaps her fingers, something shifts. Suddenly, you're not easy anymore. You're not cheap attention. You're presence with value. Think about it. Nobody respects the thing they didn't have to work for. But the second it feels like they could lose you, that's when respect shows up. That's when effort starts. Being a good man is great, but being a respected man, that only happens when you stop handing out your energy like it's free samples. Point 4. Emotional distance highlights true connection. Here's something real. When you pull back, you don't just create space, you reveal the truth. Because distance has this crazy way of showing you who actually gives a damn, who checks in, who notices your silence, and more importantly, who doesn't. It's easy to think people are close to you when you're always the one reaching out, keeping things going. But when you stop, that's when you see who actually values the connection and who was just there for convenience. And yeah, it stings, but it also frees you. Because once you stop forcing it, the fake ones fall off on their own. Pulling back isn't just about getting space, it's about finally seeing clearly. And sometimes, clarity is the closure you never got. Point 5. You regain emotional control. Let me tell you something nobody talks about. Reacting all the time, it feels like control, but it's actually the opposite. When you're always explaining, defending, texting back fast, bro, you're giving people access to your emotional buttons. And the more they learn what triggers you, the more power they have over your peace. But the moment you pull back, breathe before replying, choose not to respond to every little thing, that's when the real shift happens. That's when you stop being predictable and start becoming unshakable. It's not about being cold, it's about being conscious. You don't let people pull emotions out of you like a vending machine anymore. And trust me, the day you realize not everything deserves your reaction is the day you start feeling truly powerful again. Point 6. Your presence becomes a privilege again. You ever notice how people treat you better after you stop being so available? When you're always around, always answering, always showing up, people start thinking it's just who you are, like it's automatic. But the moment you take a step back, stop replying instantly, stop being their emotional crutch, your presence hits different. Now it's not expected, it's earned. Now it's not background noise, it's impactful. You go from being just there to being someone they feel when you're not. That's the secret, man. When you stop giving yourself to everyone all the time, people start realizing how rare your energy actually is. And when presence becomes a privilege, that's when people finally treat it with the respect it deserves. Point 7. Pulling back heals you too. This one's not even about them anymore. It's about you. Because let's be real, always being available, always pouring into everyone else leaves you empty. But when you pull back, when you give yourself space, that's when the real healing starts. That's when your mind clears up. That's when your gut starts speaking again. You start remembering who you are without all the noise. You reconnect with your peace. You realize how much energy you were wasting just trying to be the nice guy for people who didn't even see it. Pulling back isn't selfish, it's self-repair. And sometimes the version of you that needs to come alive can only be born in the quiet. You can't heal when you're constantly reacting. You heal when you finally step away from the chaos. Point 8. The right people respect your boundaries. Here's the truth, bro. Pulling back might piss off the wrong people, but it attracts the right ones. The ones who are emotionally mature, the ones who don't need constant validation, the ones who understand that silence doesn't mean anger, it means space. See, when you stop making yourself emotionally available 24/7, some people will call you distant, cold, changed. But the right people, they won't panic, they'll respect it. Because real ones know that energy is sacred, that you don't owe your peace to anyone. And when they see you setting boundaries, they don't take it personal. They see it as self-respect. And here's the best part. When you stop begging to be understood, the right people show up, not to fix you, but to meet you where you are. So, are you ready to stop being available for those who only remember you when they need you? It's time to pull back, not to punish, but to protect your peace. And in that silence, reclaim your power. If this hit something deep, comment below. I protect my energy. Let's see how many of us are done being emotionally available for the wrong people.